I accidentally scratched the hand of Chloe's first love. And on my birthday, she made sure I paid for it. She had a group of people corner me in an alley. They broke my right hand, the one I relied on for surgery. Chloe stood over me, looking down with cold, condescending eyes. "Give up being a doctor," she told me. "You won't need that hand anymore." Later, she clung to me desperately, begging me over and over not to forget our past. But all I could give her was a blank stare, as if I didn't even know who she was. "Noah, are you okay? Noah, what's wrong? What happened?" It was a dark, windy night. Khloe Miller's people pinned me down in an alley not far from my home. Not a single star shone overhead. Thick layers of clouds pressed together on the horizon. Two large men grabbed my arms, pressing me against the wall, holding me in place. The wind howled like a warning. My phone had fallen to the ground. My sister's anxious voice crackled through it. "Noah, what's going on? Say something." I could barely breathe. The air felt suffocating. Chloe walked over, picked up my phone, and ended the call without hesitation. I looked up at her, and one of the men beside me kicked me hard. "What are you looking at, huh? Still staring at Miss Miller? Don't tell me you're still dreaming about that pathetic love story." The man holding my arm leaned close, mocking me, his voice thick with contempt. He pinched my face, clicking his tongue. "Looks a bit like Mr. Ethan, doesn't he? No wonder Miss Miller took a liking to trash like you." He shoved me to the ground and grabbed my hair, forcing me to look at Chloe. Even now, I couldn't believe she would do this to me. I looked at her, my voice breaking, asking my final question. Why? She didn't even glance at me, just tucked a strand of hair behind her ear like nothing had happened. The man who had kicked me laughed loudly. "You dare ask why? How dare you scratch Mr. Ethan's hand? His hands are meant to save lives. What makes you think you can compare to him?" He patted my cheek mockingly. "Don't blame us. Even 2 pairs of your hands wouldn't be enough compensation." So this was why Chloe had dragged me out here in the middle of the night, because I had accidentally scratched her first love's hand. All along, she had only cared about Ethan. Chloe crouched down, took my right hand in hers. Her touch warm, but her words cut like ice. "I can't let you be an obstacle to him. Stop being a doctor. You won't need these useless things anymore. You just need to stay by my side." Ethan was the golden boy, destined for greatness, free to chase his ideals. And me? Was I supposed to have my right hand broken, my spirit crushed, and be forced to follow Chloe like a shadow? A replacement? I shouted, hoarse, trying to attract anyone's attention outside the alley. But it was useless. Chloe had planned this well. The street must have been cleared. I struggled desperately, but there were too many of them. They threw my medical encyclopedia, the last birthday gift my mother had given me before she passed, to the ground and tore it in half. Today was my birthday. When Chloe saw the torn book, I thought I saw a flicker of regret in her eyes, but she crouched down and pretended to comfort me. "It's okay. You only need me from now on. You don't need these." Tears burned my eyes, blurring my vision until they fell down my face and into my mouth. That book had been my last connection to my mom. Chloe waved her hand. "Do it." Only then did true fear take hold. "Chloe, you can't do this to me." I screamed, my voice cracking, but the men obeyed. A steel bar came crashing down on my right arm. Pain shot through me like fire. I screamed and tried to crawl forward, my mind incoherent, begging them to stop. I grabbed the hem of Chloe's skirt. "Chloe, please let me go. I can't lose my right hand. I'm a doctor." "I'll really die, please." She kicked my hand away. "I'm sorry." "It's my fault. I won't bother you anymore. I'll leave. I'll go far away where you'll never find me. Okay?" But the blows didn't stop. Again and again the steel bar came down until my right arm was nothing but a bloody mess. I could hardly feel the pain anymore. "Chloe, I don't love you anymore. Just let me go, please. I still need to stand at the operating table. If I lose the hand that saves lives, I can't go on living." I crawled forward like a stray dog, begging her to spare me. I gave her the last shred of my dignity, and she still didn't stop. Only when my right arm was completely destroyed did she finally speak. "Don't worry, I'll marry you. But you cannot stand in Ethan's way." I collapsed completely, holding my ruined arm with my left hand. All the pain and humiliation erupted inside me. My tears mixed with the blood on my hand. I turned to Khloe and screamed from the depths of my soul, "Khloe Miller, you will never see me again in this lifetime. You are doomed to a life of unrequited love and misery." Khloe and I had been together for 3 years. It had all started so simply. One summer, I was treating an injured patient at the hospital. She happened to pass by and caught my reflection in the glass. A warm breeze stirred the leaves on Maple Street. She stopped, turned, and saw me bathed in the golden light, tending to the patient. In that moment, something seemed to click between us. Our feelings grew quickly, and before long, Khloe became like family to me. So when I first heard the rumors, I dismissed them. "Hey, did you hear? Ethan's back in the country." A group of well-dressed medical students huddled together, whispering, "Who do you think Khloe will choose, Ethan or Noah? Is that even a question? She's been obsessed with Ethan for 10 years. I heard they were childhood sweethearts." One of them noticed me listening, rolled her eyes, and tugged her friend away. "Noah probably still doesn't know he's just a substitute. I bet in a couple of days we'll hear Miss Miller dumped him to chase her true love." What's Noah compared to Ethan? Ethan comes from a prominent medical family. The rumors spread, consuming my mind. One day, distracted and restless, I opened the staff lounge door too quickly and accidentally hurt the person standing outside. The old handle broke off and gashed the back of his hand. Blood flowed instantly. That was how I first met Ethan. He looked a bit like me, especially from the side. We were both surgeons. Our habits were strangely similar. Khloe used to hold me close and call me Nate again and again, and I thought it was special. Something just between us. But in the end, she had been calling Ethan's name, not mine. I huddled in the corner of the hospital later, clutching my broken right arm. After hearing my panicked voice on the phone, my sister Sarah rushed to me, finding me just outside our home. The Miller family was powerful. They quickly covered everything up, dismissed the incident, and promised compensation. But I could never stand at the operating table again. I sat there, numb, unresponsive, clutching my arm. Sarah had no choice but to take me home. I gripped her hand, eyes red, and forced a smile. "Sarah, I have surgery in a few days. I can't just stay home. Take me back to the hospital, okay?" Her throat tightened. She stared at me without speaking. "Noah, don't be afraid." She wiped my tears. "Sarah will protect you. Sarah, I'm begging you. Take me back to the hospital." Seeing me like that was too much for her. She quietly settled me down, then ran to a corner and cried. But something strange was happening to me. My mind felt foggy, like something was covering it. I started forgetting things, like an eraser slowly wiping my memories away. I was scared, yet somehow I also longed to forget. One day, when Sarah wasn't home, I went out by myself. When I tried to return, I couldn't find my way back. I wandered the neighborhood again and again. I couldn't see the path home. I couldn't remember where home even was. My left hand tightened around my ruined right arm as I tried to keep my emotions in check. But I couldn't stop running, faster and faster, through the endless alleys until I collided with Sarah, who had been out looking for me. She grabbed my shoulders, trying to calm me down. Through my tears, I kept repeating, "Sarah, I can't find it. I can't find the way home. I can't go back. Why can't I remember anything? What do I do, Sarah?" I clutched her clothes, sobbing. "Noah," she said firmly. "Calm down." I froze, staring at her. "Don't be afraid. Sarah will take you. Let's go see a doctor, okay?" She held me and led me to the hospital. I knew she was sad. I knew she was worried, but it seemed I had really forgotten so much. The initial tests confirmed it. Early onset Alzheimer's disease. Progressive. How is that possible? My brother is only 27. I stared out the window at the birds chirping outside, barely hearing the conversation between Sarah and the doctor. Furthermore, he also has severe depression, likely triggered by major trauma. Did he experience something recently? I just kept holding my right arm. My mind drifted to my upcoming birthday next month. I wondered what Sarah would give me this year. Khloe never gave me a gift on my actual birthday, only on the day we first met. I smiled faintly, poking Sarah with my left hand. "Sarah, what gift are you planning to give me this year?" I had forgotten that the day Khloe and I first met was actually Ethan's birthday. I had even forgotten that my own birthday had already passed. Sarah smiled painfully, still explaining things to the doctor, patting my hand to calm me. "Anything you want?" "Noah. Sarah promises." The doctor said the condition might improve with timely guidance and treatment, but there was no guarantee of a cure. The best thing to do was avoid anything that could trigger the trauma. Following the doctor's advice, Sarah took me home and immediately removed everything that reminded me of the hospital and Khloe. She stood in front of me like a protective tree, shielding me from the world, but my mind was still foggy. My eyes were clouded. I couldn't see the path ahead, couldn't even see the future. Then came the knock. "Open up." "It's Khloe." I sat there on the sofa, staring blankly at the door. Hearing her voice, I turned my head toward the kitchen where Sarah was cooking. Then, without calling her over, I got up and opened the door myself. Khloe stood outside, looking casual, maybe a bit impatient, maybe even annoyed that I'd taken so long. But I couldn't really register her expression. All I knew was, this was Khloe, the person I loved. I should be happy to see her, right? So I smiled, bright and wide, reaching out with my left hand to take hers. "It's Khloe. What brings you here? Haven't you been busy lately?" She froze, her brows furrowing. My right arm was still in a cast, wrapped thick with bandages. I just let it hang at my side, limp, as if I'd forgotten about it entirely. She must have thought I was acting pitiful to win her back. She didn't realize I had actually forgotten. Forgotten that she had broken my hand. Forgotten that I was just Ethan's substitute, still smiling. I started pulling her inside. The noise must have reached Sarah, because she came out from the kitchen. The moment Sarah saw Khloe's face, anger flared like fire. She yanked me back into the room, away from Khloe, and before I knew it, she slapped Khloe across the face. A red mark bloomed instantly on Khloe's cheek. Blood welled at the corner of her mouth. She wiped it away slowly, then smirked. Sarah's eyes burned with fury as she grabbed Khloe by the collar. "How dare you show your face here? Do you have any idea what you've done to my brother's life?" Khloe grabbed Sarah's wrist, her voice sharp and mocking. "I promised him I'd marry him. He doesn't need those things anymore. I'll take care of him. Didn't your brother seem happy to see me just now? Sarah, don't push your luck." Hearing that, Sarah completely lost control. She slapped Khloe again. "You don't know a damn thing!" They started shoving each other. Finally, Sarah collapsed, sliding down the wall, sobbing quietly. I couldn't really hear them anymore. My mind was somewhere else, replaying a medical problem I had solved recently. I hadn't even told Khloe about it yet. I started searching around frantically. Eventually, I found the notebook Khloe had given me, the one Sarah had hidden away. I stared at it with regret. I hadn't found the medical book Mom gave me, but since Khloe always wanted me to show her my work, I thought I might as well tell her about my solution. Clutching the notebook, I walked back toward the door. Both Sarah and Khloe froze when I appeared. I just smiled at Khloe. "Khloe, I solved a new medical problem recently. You always wanted me to tell you about it. Let me tell you now, okay?" Khloe looked stunned, unsure of what to do. I lifted the notebook, or tried to. Horrified, I realized my right hand wouldn't move. "Sarah, Khloe, why? Why can't I lift my hand? Ah!" I screamed, the sound tearing from my throat. The notebook slipped from my grasp and hit the floor. I started running around the house, yanking at my hair, panicking as I realized only one hand worked. My chest tightened, my breathing turned ragged. I looked at Khloe, and suddenly I wasn't in the house anymore. I was back in that alley. The ground was cold and wet beneath me. I smelled blood. I crawled forward. Khloe reached out to grab me, but Sarah stepped between us and pulled me into her arms. "Khloe, I don't love you anymore. Let me go, please. I can't lose my dream." "I don't love you anymore." "Noah, calm down." Khloe's eyes widened, glistening with tears. "Sarah, what's happening to him? Why is he like this?" Sarah held me tighter and shouted at her through gritted teeth. "How dare you ask me? Aren't you from a powerful family? Don't you have connections everywhere? Then why don't you know what's wrong with my brother? What gives you the right to stand here acting like you care? Don't you know what you've done? Is ruining lives all you do? She slapped Khloe again. Khloe stood frozen, completely shocked. She thought she'd only broken my hand. She hadn't realized she'd broken my life. Without another word, she stumbled back and bolted out the door. Sarah kept stroking my head, soothing me like a frightened child. "Noah, don't be afraid. No one will hurt you again. Trust me, okay?" I just looked up at her, my left hand trembling as it reached for my useless right hand. "Sarah, does this mean I can never stand at an operating table again?" And then I fainted. Sarah caught me and held me close, trembling. After that, she moved me to a nearby care facility where she stayed by my side almost constantly. Whenever she absolutely had to leave, she made sure someone was always watching me. Khloe tried to visit many times, crying and apologizing in front of everyone. But Sarah never let her in. Memories began slipping away more and more. Sometimes I lost control of my bladder. Sometimes I'd start screaming or throwing things without warning. Then, during a rare moment of clarity, I would apologize again and again to everyone. More than once, I wanted to end my life, just so I wouldn't drag Sarah down with me anymore. But Sarah always stopped me, crying and begging me not to leave her, telling me that if I died, she would truly be alone in the world. But I knew I was still hurting her by just existing. Then one day, Sarah told me Ethan had been waiting outside to see me, and for days. Normally, she would have refused, but she finally asked if I wanted to meet him. That day, I was relatively lucid, so I agreed. Ethan came in, looking exhausted, like a young man worn down by grief. There were faint tear tracks on his face. He stared at me for a long time before finally saying, voice trembling, "I'm sorry." I smiled at him softly and shook my head. It was never your fault. Sarah stood beside me, fists clenched, but I gestured for her to leave us alone. She stepped out reluctantly. "If it weren't for me, this wouldn't have happened to you," Ethan said. "The door was faulty. It wasn't my fault. But it wasn't Khloe's right to decide your future either. I never even liked her." His voice broke. He looked at my right hand, grief written all over his face. My mind drifted back to that day. After his hand was cut, I rushed him to the clinic, bandaging the wound myself. A doctor's hands are incredibly precious, I'd told him. Now, tears streamed down his face as he repeated those words back to me. "You told me that. A doctor's hands are precious." I called him by name, Ethan, and told him not to blame himself, not to carry the guilt. "My journey ends here," I told him, "but yours is just beginning. Protect your hands. You have to become the best doctor. Stand tall before everyone." I gave him the scar cream I'd prepared for him days ago but never had the chance to give. Looking at him, I saw my younger self, ambitious, full of dreams. But my time was almost over. Even though people said my condition seemed better, I had a feeling I was nearing the end. One night, Khloe climbed over the wall to see me. She found me by the window, bathed in moonlight, mumbling basic human anatomy to myself, looking like I'd aged a decade. She fell to her knees, crying, begging me not to forget her, but I shoved her away violently. "I don't know you." She showed me the medical encyclopedia she had pieced back together for me, but I pushed it away. "That's not Mom's book. Mom gave me the best medical book in the world." I was angry, like a child. "Mom said I'd become the best doctor, and I will." But Khloe only looked at my ruined hand. She finally understood. There was no going back. Moonlight wrapped around me like a thin veil. Clarity returned for a moment. I pushed her away and ran up to the rooftop. This time, no one could catch me. Then I sat on the edge of the roof. "Noah, come down. Come down. I'll promise you anything, okay?" Khloe screamed from below. "I'll find the best doctors to cure you, to fix your right hand. Okay? I'm begging you. Please come down." "That's exactly how I begged you, Khloe." I smiled faintly. "What doctors?" I was a doctor myself. Didn't I understand my own condition? My arm was destroyed. Even if sensation returned, it would be impossible for me to stand in surgery again. Besides, the current version of me couldn't offer emotional support to anyone. I was just a constant burden on Sarah. Everyone's life was stressful enough as it was, and without being a doctor, I had already died once in this world. Sarah discovered I wasn't in my room, called 911 and rushed to save me. A crowd gathered below. Firefighters quickly inflated an airbag beneath me. People surrounded me, hoping to talk me down. Sarah stood crying uncontrollably in the distance, afraid to come too close in case she startled me. "Noah, listen! Come down, okay?" I turned back and gave her a wide smile. "Sarah, tell me, in the next life, can I be the best doctor?" The soft moonlight caught the glint of my tears. Carrying that final desperate cry from the depths of my soul, like a nightingale's bleeding song, like an ape's high-pitched wail, I looked back one last time, murmuring, "Mom, I'm coming to find you." Then I turned and leapt toward the unyielding ground below. A firefighter grabbed my right hand at the last second, but I wrenched it free, falling into the deepest darkness, into the abyss. "I almost had him," the firefighter sobbed. But I heard nothing anymore. Medical knowledge from my school days surfaced in my mind. My unreachable dream. After I was gone, Sarah fell into moderate depression, fighting her grief every day. Thankfully, a kind and patient man entered her life, pulling her out of the pit during her darkest time. He helped her manage the company and guided her through the pain. That pull lasted a lifetime. When Sarah and her husband came to visit my grave, she looked a little worried that I wouldn't approve, but I had accepted you long ago. Brother-in-law. They were truly moving toward happiness, and I was glad. Their future was bright and new, no longer weighed down by a mentally unstable person like me. Their story was radiant. When Ethan heard of my death, he cried for 3 days straight. But eventually, he pulled himself together and moved quietly toward his own future. He always carried the scar cream I gave him, never daring to use a single bit. Carrying the weight of both our dreams, Ethan solved countless medical challenges, fulfilling my hope by becoming the best doctor. Yet whenever patients gave him plaques of appreciation, he would cross out his own name and write Noah on every line. Such a foolish boy. You didn't have to do that. All the effort and achievements were yours. You deserved the best. His future, too, shone brightly amidst the chaos. As for Khloe, she confessed everything she had done to me and turned herself in, going to prison. It seems she eventually died there. None of that matters now. What matters is that everyone moved toward a better place, and all the bad memories, including the ones about me, slowly faded. Time gave everyone closure. It just seems I stopped at 27. Permanently frozen. On Ethan's birthday, I met someone. He looked so much like Ethan. Even their names were similar. Ethan and Noah. Ethan should pursue his dreams. So maybe finding someone similar was okay, right? Noah agreed to be with me. I think I liked him a little, but he still wasn't Ethan. He asked for a birthday gift. I always said I'd give it to him on the anniversary of our first meeting. He believed me. Actually, that day was Ethan's birthday. I gave Noah a medical notebook. Watching him take notes beside me always reminded me of Ethan tending to my wounds, but they were different. I think that's when I really started to like him. Then Ethan came. Back. How dare Noah scratch Ethan's hand? What right did he have to stand in Ethan's way? Maybe I should just break his hand. Seeing him cry in front of me, I felt a pang of pity. Yes, I did like him a bit, so I decided to keep him by my side forever, unable to leave. I even went to discuss marriage with Noah, but why did he seem to have forgotten what happened? Why was his mental state like this? Sudden onset Alzheimer's and severe depression. How could this happen? He was only 27. Noah, oh no. Noah, please just see me once. Noah, I was wrong. I found your medical encyclopedia. Please see me. I'm begging you. Ethan went to see him that day. Only then did I realize. Maybe it was always. Noah I liked. They said he had been mentally unstable for a long time. But I never had the chance to make amends. When I finally saw him, he didn't recognize me. Noah, I beg you, don't forget our past. Don't forget me. Please. He jumped right in front of me. I felt like a part of me died with him. Noah, I'm turning myself in. Do you see? I will pay the price for what I did to you. When I get out, I'll come find you. But what was happening to me? Why were my memories disappearing too? Why couldn't I remember how we first met? So this is Alzheimer's. Noah, I can't hold on much longer. I'm forgetting all our beautiful memories. Now all I see when I close my eyes is you begging me to let you go. I don't think I'll ever earn your forgiveness. Not even in the next life. Is this what losing memories feels like? Is this how you felt? Losing your dream? It must feel like that moment you realized you could never operate again. The pain is unbearable. I'm sorry. Noah, I'm coming to find you now. Staring at the prison wall. All I see is your face. I can't help but want to get closer. Even though I know there's nothing there. It hurts so much. When you jumped, it must have hurt even more than this. No. I'm sorry. I love you.